So I think I start every video with okay, so I'm gonna have to read or go back and watch to find. I think this is part three. In the other videos, I talked about how I heard about it and what I had to do to get into or the application process and all of that to go to Kenya and Uganda. So I think this video is going to be like really talking about where did we go um, and that experience, or just at least a little bit. So here's the thing. Before we can talk about where I went, let's talk about how long I was there. Because I believe the initial application said 2 to 3 weeks. I was gone from June 27th, no, June 17th to July 27th. I remember preparing to leave. Like I had to get my vaccinations and all of those things. This was going on during COVID as well. So I was taking COVID tests regularly. I'm asthmatic, so I had to get 3 months of asthma medication, and they did not want to, like the insurance did not want to give it to me. I have 2 inhalers and an asthma pill. I had to fight for those things. We won't go into all of that. Um, all of the heavy lifting, right, of planning, but guess what was in my plan? Going to see King Solomon at Polly's Pub on the day that I needed to leave. I did. So the day that I was leaving for this show or leaving for Chicago to fly to Kenya, um, I think I went and saw my mom and dad early that morning. I think I was at Polly's at 3 o'clock to watch the crew like tear it up, and then I jumped in the car and drove to, well, me and my baby jumped in the car and drove to Chicago. And that's how I left the States. I left the States in a very good mood. Thank you, King Solomon. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, Keith. That was a great, I'll remember that show forever because, yeah, I wasn't on stage with them and I wanted to be, but I was like, dude, I'm about to have the craziest, most amazing experience in life going to Kenya. So, yeah, that's what happened on June 17th. Got to the airport, didn't know nobody from the trip. We met once face to face, maybe like 2 weeks before we left. Could have been a month. So one of the professors from Harper, such a sweet, lovely man. He had us at his home in Illinois, and then one of the gentlemen that was on the trip with us is from Kenya, um, and those two men are very special to me. Um, just seeing that they actually care for people helped me feel better to go on this trip because here's the thing, y'all. I grew up as an only child. I got a sister, and I got tons of people that I call family. But I grew up as an only child, which means I spent a lot of time alone. I'm still that way. I got married in my 20s and divorced in my 20s. I got out. Don't get me started. I got out. Um, but since then, like, the only person that's really lived with me is my daughter. And she ended up going abroad, like in her senior year. That was like 2018, maybe 2017. My baby went to Spain for like 6 months, 5 months. And that was the first time I got a taste of living by myself. Most people were like, oh my God, are you okay? I was great. I raised my daughter by myself. She lived with me for 20 some years. So I was fine when she left. Did I miss her? Of course I missed my baby. But was I tripping? Nope. I was like, okay, I did my job up until this point. Let's not get lost. Let's go do what I'm supposed to do. So I spent a lot of time recording. But I said all of that to say, like, I went on this trip not having the best social skills because I'm used to being alone. And I'm not used to, well, I am used to being alone, like living alone, moving throughout my day without talking to people, answering to people, Usually I'm just, hey mama, hey Gabby, hey Pa. Those are the people, right? And then every now and then, like if I got band stuff, then I'm talking to my bandmates, right? But I'm usually very quiet. I do not search for a lot of things to do because I am easily just over it all. I don't like a lot of conversation because, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Don't judge me. I'm working on talking that doesn't have a point. It's super irritating to have to talk to somebody and not have a point to the conversation. So I'm saying all of this because I went from not talking to nobody or even acknowledging people because I'm like, that's you over there, I'm over here. As long as we not hurting each other, I'm gonna give you a hello and that's it. To literally like being with people almost 24 hours a day. I was not okay. Right? So here, and then here's the other part. I love everybody, but I don't feel like everybody deserve me. So it's only a few people that I can just be me with. One person is Joanne, and my other person is Nisha. I can be me. They are going to love me. They are not going to judge me. I don't have a lot of other people like that. Well, I didn't, should I say. I didn't have a lot of people like that before. Still don't think I do. But yeah, so that was one of the biggest challenges for me because, yeah, I'm not used to being with people. So when we got on that plane on June 17th, or it got to the airport in Chicago, it was a line of people. I didn't know who I was looking for. I just get just doing the thing, standing in line, hoping I end up where I was supposed to be. So eventually I found the group that I was traveling with. We do board the plane. We get on in Chicago. And we flew to, are you kidding me? I've been saying this place forever. Saudi Arabia, is that right? Let me see. I'm looking for an Africa map. Yeah. Okay. So we flew to Qatar, right? I think we left early, and they were like, "Okay, when you get to Qatar, you'll have an hour layover. You'll be fine. You have plenty time to go to your next plane because we flew to Qatar and then had to fly to Nairobi. So I have my little hoochie. No, it wasn't a hoochie mama. It was my cargo girls skirt, and I had a tank top, a t-shirt, and then my sweatshirt because I wanted to stay warm on the plane. We get off the plane in Qatar, and we find out because there's the flight attendant lady with the pat. She's saying, "Flight to Kenya, flight to Kenya, flight to Nairobi." So it's an Asian woman. She's saying flight to Nairobi. There is no English in the airport. She's waving this sign because the flight is about to leave. I get off the plane. I'm almost to the elevators to get to the main floor. Realize I forgot something. I gotta run back to the plane. I don't even remember what I forgot, but it was super important. I think it was like my what is it, fanny pack with like all my meds and stuff, and like yeah, that kind of stuff. So I had to run back to the plane, running to find this woman who now is she's running, and she looked like one of them like the martial arts movies where they like start to float. That's what she was doing. Okay, she's floating. It's 12 people running, but they're not together because she's running and we're trying to keep up. I got stuff and asthma. I'm running trying to keep up. I'm like, so now I'm starting to sweat. By the time I get to the connecting flight, it's not okay. I think I probably pulled my asthma pump out 12 times and couldn't take it because I was just trying to make sure I didn't miss the flight. Okay, I do remember that. And then this is the other thing I remember about that airport. It smelled and looked gorgeous. 15-year-old Kashina would have got left on purpose. I sure would have. I tried to get left in Jamaica. I'm not lying. I didn't try, but I almost got left in Jamaica. Um, yeah, I want to go to Qatar just for the airport because, like, the perfumes and fragrances. I was like, this is a 6 hour day right here. Just drop me off at the airport. Let me walk. Let me eat. And then put me on a plane. Hold on. Now that I'm thinking about it, Qatar Airlines, even though they pissed me off on the way back, I'm talking about delightful food. The plane food, this is my first time ever getting like warm, not first time, because the industry used to do it back in the day, but like warm, good food. No, I didn't take any pictures. The traveling was too much. That's why I want to do it again because I was very, very much overwhelmed, but super excited. I was saying, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm doing this. We get on the connecting flight, get to Nairobi. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, their time, something real crazy. Um, I remember getting off and we're all like trying to gather ourselves. go through customs and everything, and seeing all of the brown faces like everywhere, I was like, oh, It was 2 o'clock in the morning, but it was just like I'm talking about on pictures and on the advertising. Um, I live in the Midwest. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, about 45 minutes to an hour away from Chicago, depending on who's driving. Um, Chicago is very diverse. My area is diverse, but there are quite there's a lot of white people in the Midwest, which is why I loved Jamaica, which is why I love the South. Because go down south and I see a lot more of me down there, right? Um, Same thing with Jamaica. I was just like, oh my God. First time when I went to Jamaica and started to see the people, like just walking around out away from the tourist areas, that's when I realized, and this was like 91, 92. That's when I realized, oh my God, everybody has a twin. Because I was seeing people that looked exactly like my friends in America, but the only way I knew that it wasn't my friend or family is when they would speak. They're like the teeth would be different, the accent would be different. Or I'd be like, oh my God, they've got a smile. They look just like so and so, but oh, their eyes are different. And then when they open their mouth, they speak in a different language, right? So that's when I realized everybody has a twin. So when I get to Nairobi, I'm still kind of shocked in the sense of, look at all these beautiful black people. Like I'm seeing every black person I've ever seen in America. I'm seeing them right here. I'm seeing them but they were all in one space. Right. So that's one of the biggest things that I can remember from landing outside of some of my colleagues. Like they lost their bags. That was really sad. It was hard to, it wasn't sad. It wasn't detrimental, but I couldn't imagine getting there and not having my luggage. Um, that flight, I think the total flight was like 21 or 23 hours total in the same clothes. Baby, I was ready. I was like, I need a shower now. After all that damn running. Okay. So, yeah, I remember that. And then here's the other thing I remember. So, yes, I'm the only black girl. I had to use the bathroom as soon as we got off the plane. But there was a line to go through customs. And the line was long. There are tons of people, right? So they were really being strict about, who could go in. But somebody asked, where's the bathroom? And I was right behind them. And the person that they asked was like, oh, it's right over there. Go ahead. And so they let me go. I didn't think anything of it. Whatever, right? Later on, I hear, oh, they like you. What do you mean they like me? This is what one of the guys says to me. I'm going to stick by you. They like you.